Hey everyone, if you've seen my previous video, you know I just recently switched from a JVC head unit back to a Panasonic head unit for here to run the audio system in my shop. This Panasonic head unit is a little bit more equipped than the JVC was. The JVC was a nice head unit, but the Panasonic has one extra feature that I did like and that my previous Panasonic head unit had. This is what my previous Panasonic head unit looked like. And I'm going to make an attempt at swapping the faceplates. They both share the same connection, they both share the same mounting, but I don't know if they will work correctly with each other. Okay, as you can see, I got the head units taken off, or sorry, the faceplates taken off. The head unit's the actual stereo itself. Here is the back of the one that's currently hooked up. Here is the back of the one I'd like to use from my existing stereo, which is smashed and sitting outside. Here is my JVC. The real differences between the JVC and the Panasonic. The Panasonic has a pre-out for a subwoofer. The JVC does not. The JVC has USB and I don't know, 3/4 mil input on the front. Unfortunately, the Panasonic does not, but the Panasonic has the RCA jacks in the back. You just need to run a Y jack or a Y cable out and hook it up that way. As you can see from the red blinking light, the power is on, and let's put this in place and see what happens. We are in, and let's moment of truth. No, it don't work, unfortunately. They probably have a different firmware or something. Most likely, since the pinouts are the same, but nothing else on the board is probably the same, so it won't work, unfortunately. Now to show that the stereo does fully function, I did show it in my previous video. And it's coming on. A lot of glare on the screen, but... Oh, subs aren't on. Actually, that's the radio. I was actually able to find a radio station that will actually come in, even though I have no antenna. Let's just try one other thing here. Power is still on. So if the power's still on, and the radio is on, no, nothing. This one, either the faceplate is completely dead, or like I said, this just doesn't use the correct firmware, or the pinouts are different. Something's different about it. And back to its existing faceplate.
Don't pull your love. Quarter after 12, Richard Huskisson here with you, and hope you're enjoying your noon hour. Got some
I think radio ads aren't really copyrighted, so I think I'm okay with them. I just don't really want to play too much for the obvious reasons. I know I'm going to get comments about this TV head unit. People are probably going to ask, since the faceplate is dead, how do I control it? I got a remote. I was actually lucky. I got this at Valley Village, and I got lucky. I actually came with a remote. And this button here, the volume, and the source button, does work on it. And I'm just going to show you guys a quick demonstration. You got to flick that switch because... it's basically to make it work, and parking brake on. Basically how it's set up is it turns the ground off, turns the ground on, turns the ground off, turns the ground on again. And when the ground's on, that's the e-brake is on. And there we go. Some people may or may not recognize that DVD. Yeah, it's actually the Dave Rock documentary DVD. I don't know why I have it in here. I've actually had it in this head unit for quite some time, and the previous TV head unit, I had it in that for quite a while. So that's pretty much it. Faceplate swap didn't really work, and a quick demonstration and chat about my in-dash. It's technically an in-dash TV head unit, and its issues and how I get around its issues. So I'll talk to you later. Please keep it redneck like always, and please try and comment.